Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So welcome to our last program on this beautiful Yatra we have been on. So now we have three different presentations. First we have Vrindavan Priya Prabhu, who's going to present to us. And then we have our final showcase. She's coming. And after the final showcase, we have a short... Guruma, what is the name of the devotee?
He made a professional board game that he wants to present to everybody he'll be selling.
Thank you, Guruma. So over to you, Vrindavan Priya Prabhu.
I have 10 minutes. Okay. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. First of all, I'll just take a few seconds to really express my gratitude to His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu, Nirakula Mataji, and all assembled devotees for allowing us to be part of this yatra. I think it's been very, very rejuvenating and really transforming. especially for Balram. He's the one who got me here, actually. So he's the real member of the Youth Yatra. And I like to thank Divyanam Prabhu for kindly allowing me to make a small presentation here for about 10 minutes. So most of you are aware that we are very much part of ISV, and we spent so many years over there, but we had to make a very hard decision to take a break and come to India for a couple of years. And this presentation is about why I kind of ended up making that decision, and it's just for like sharing with all of you, and also to raise awareness what's happening in the landscape of Indian academics with respect to IKS. IKS here stands for Indian Knowledge System. And I also will take this opportunity to show you some very beautiful pictures of Himachal Pradesh, and it's actually an invitation for all of you to come visit us sometime while you're in India, especially if you're in North India. And I don't know how long we'll be there, but at least a couple of years. So if you happen to be in the area, please come visit us. So I'll skip that. So my current engagement, I was in the Bay Area for a long time. I worked in different companies, but I always had this desire to do something along the professional lines as well, use my knowledge and skills for exploring deeper into Krishna consciousness and how to bring it in my professional life as well. So I got this opportunity, and I'm part of a center called Indian Knowledge System and Mental Health Applications. So this is one of the centers in India, and this is actually an initiative from the government of India under the Ministry of Education. They have a division for Indian Knowledge System for propagating and research and education in various aspects of IKS. So if you go to their website, you'll see the agenda there. So here I've underlined few things. It's to re-establish or to establish, promote interdisciplinary research in all aspects of IKS, preserve, disseminate IKS, and further research for societal applications. And there are many areas of research and education going on. My particular interest is in the basic sciences, but there's a whole array of topics. So there are about 27 IKS centers dedicated for one aspect or the other of the Indian knowledge system throughout India. And I'm really here to kind of get trained in this aspect of research and education so that we could expand this further later on to other parts of the world as well. And then, yes, next. So there is 27 centers, and as you can see, on the website you'll see the details about different centers and what their specific focuses are, and that's our center in Himachal Pradesh for Mental Health Application Center. Okay, go next. So there are many IITs. You must have heard of Indian Institute of Technologies. There are 23 IITs across India in different states. So the only IIT where an IKS center is established is the one where I'm at, in IIT Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. That's over here in North India. So that's our campus. The campus is split in two halves because of the mountainous region there. It's located in the Shivalik range of the Himalayas. And there's the North Campus, and there's a South Campus. There's a wonderful cricket ground over there for sports facilities. And you'll see a river, small river that goes by, and the river is called as Byas. In the local language, they call Byas, but actually stands for Vyas. So it refers to Vyasdev. And then the nearest town to the institute is called as Mandi. And it's also referred to as the Varanasi of the hills, because there are over 80 temples dedicated to Lord Shiva, and it's also called as the Choti Kashi, the smaller Kashi. And it's a beautiful temple town with on the banks of a river, and there's beautiful lakes and things like that. Okay. So a very wonderful spiritual tourist attraction near our institute is the Parashar Lake. This is where Parashar Muni is said to have meditated and did penance for a long time, and this lake is dedicated to him. So it looks like this in the summer. That's how it looks in the winter. There must be snow by now, and if you go there, it's very beautiful landscape. And this is a pagoda-style temple, which is for Parashar Muni. There's a very small, very beautiful deity of Parashar Muni inside that temple. It's a more than 1,000-year-old temple, but who knows how long the actual history goes of the land where Parashar Muni is supposed to have meditated. And this morning, Mataji mentioned about Markandeya Rishi and how his narration is there in the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, where Naranarayan Rishi, they actually come and give him benediction. He's supposed to have performed penances and observed strict vows of celibacy for 6 manvantaras. And in the 7th manvantara, the Naranarayan Rishi, they actually come and give him darshan and give benediction. So there's a temple dedicated to him, and again, as the legend goes, that it's Markandeya Muni's place of penance and austerity over here. Yeah, good. So, in summary, there are so many other places of spiritual importance, and these places actually take us back to Puranic times, and help us kind of live those kind of times, and when we hear about these rishis and munis, it gives us a deep sense of spiritual energy that is in the land. So therefore, the Himachal Pradesh, every nook and corner, there are so many temples of very deep spiritual significance. Therefore, it's called as Devabhumi, the land of the gods. There's also a wonderful ISKCON center in Mandi town that's been established by disciples of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So they're doing wonderful preaching activities, and this is His Grace Leela Purushottam Prabhu. So he's the director of IIT Mandi, and it's actually under his vision and guidance that this center could even be established. Such a center could be established. He has very good connections in the ministry, and he has attracted a lot of funding for initiating education and research initiatives. There's a small story, but in the interest of time, I will kind of skip over it. But there's a small temple of Durga Devi on campus. There's a story behind it. Maybe I can tell later on. So anyway, going back to Leela Purushottam Prabhu, he's actually the director of the Bhaktivedanta Gurukul and International School in Vrindavan. And this is a picture from the inauguration of the Sri Sri Krishna Balram Mandir on the Gurukul campus a couple of years ago. Yes, God. And this is a quote from His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj about the Bhaktivedanta Gurukul and school. But the long-term vision here is to transform the Gurukul and extend it into a full-fledged university, so that the children, when they graduate from the Gurukul, of course they can go outside in college and universities, but they also have an opportunity to continue their studies in the same line in the university. And one of the reasons that this IK center is being leveraged is to train the future faculty members for this university. So that's the long-term vision. So the Gurukul and the international school will transform into, extend into the university. Yeah, go next. And we have a small temple on campus that's located right next to the director's house, and that's where we do all our festivals. That's our recent celebration of during the Kartik month for Radha Damodar. Yes. And one of the characteristic features of Leela Purushottam Prabhu is that he's very bold and is very unafraid of doing things very openly. So it's actually very difficult to imagine organizing festivals like Janmashtami or Gita Jayanti inside an institute campus. But because of his reach and also his boldness to preach, he openly asks us to do it very openly, and don't be afraid of anything. So we organized in December a big Gita Jayanti festival. There were students from all around Mandi town who came and participated. So this is some of our devotional activities that we are able to do under his guidance. You can go next. So this is some of the press release that we got from our Gita Jayanti celebrations, and you can see that how we are kind of leveraging our center to propagate message of the Bhagavad Gita. We kind of use it for mental health, self-development, and cultivating resilience, emotional stability, and ethical leadership. So there were about more than 2,000 students from nearby places who came and participated in the Gita Jayanti celebrations. These are objectives of IKSHMA, the mental health center that we have. I'll not read everything, but just the first one is worth mentioning, that to be a world leader and serve Indian society where research translation activities concerning IKS and mental health and leveraging state-of-art scientific methods to answer questions regarding effectiveness IKS on human body, mental health and well-being. I mean, it sounds very technical and scientific, that kind of thing, but really what it really means is how to leverage knowledge system from our scriptures to deliver mental health applications very widely in society, right? And I'll show you some of the research avenues. They are directly related to Krishna consciousness and chanting the holy name and so on. Yes. So these are some of the courses that are offered as part of the curriculum. So this is an introduction to consciousness and holistic. The holistic is missing there. Holistic well-being. So that's the course I taught last semester. This is for first year undergraduate students, but there are several other courses. For instance, selected topics in Vedic thoughts and cultural behavior. So for instance, we talk about importance of yoga, and I won't dwell on it. Yeah, keep going. We talk about the self and the source, and what is our source, what's our connection, and so on. Yeah, keep going. And along same lines, we talk about holistic, what holistic means, and this principle of holistic outlook towards the world is especially missing in large sections of the society today. So we try to bring attention of the students while they're still young to what holistic means and practically how one can practice it and so on. So we can skip this. One of the part of the course is that we make them spend time in nature because we are surrounded by beautiful mountains. We take them for hiking and also engage them in community service. And one of the community services is that the students come and cook for a festival, and we serve prasadam to everybody, all the students as well. And this is my last slide. This is some of the research avenues that I'm currently pursuing. It's just been few months that I'm here, so it still will take time to for things to fructify, but this is the beginning. So my main interest is in consciousness studies. So things like interactions of the three modes, uncovering reality of object permanence. Then we also look into scientifically into near-death experience, out-of-body experience, reincarnations, how to develop models to explain that. Then different types of interventions, like for example Ayurveda, yoga, Indian classical music. So when one gets exposure to music, classical music, and what effect does that have on their state of mind and on their life in general. Then we have Hare Krishna mantra meditation. We have a very special program of exploring the mantra meditation effects on state of mind. So that's direct application for mental health. There's some tech-related topics. We're also looking into Bhagavad Gita insights towards positive psychology. There's a branch of psychology called positive psychology where we can apply Bhagavad Gita principles, and Vedic philosophy and value philosophy for global sustainability. So this is kind of thing that I'm up to, and hopefully it will generate something good for society. And as I said, I'm taking this as an opportunity to train myself, and no matter where I end up going in future, most likely we'll go back to ISB very soon because we've been just missing the association so much. But hopefully this knowledge and training can help to expand such preaching efforts in future. Thank you.
Amazing. I wish every university in India had a faculty like you, Prabhu. It's great. Great work. Thank you. So now we would like to welcome Radha Sundari Mataji and Raj Mohan Prabhu for a presentation on something which they have come up. It's a board game. So over to you, Mataji, and Raj Mohan, if you'd like to come forward, please. Thank you. Let's give them a hand.
So this is something little interactive. So I'm thinking, what's the best way? Maybe we can set one up here for Mataji and Vaisheshika Prabhu to see, and we can set up a couple in the middle so that you can see what we're talking about, and all the devotees in the back can come here. Rajmohan, I'll do that if you want to begin. I'll just introduce Rajmohan quickly. I've known Rajmohan since before he was born. I'm his mother. And so you know how much fun it is when your mother introduces you, so he's probably not going to enjoy this, but I'll do it anyway. Raj Mohan is 16 years old. He grew up here in Śrīdhāma, Māyāpur. He attended Gurukul here for most of his life. Now he's homeschooling, and he is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami. And Raj Mohan loves ISKCON history. That's something he's always loved. He's always loved reading about Srila Prabhupada more than anything. And he loves reading Shastra. He's done Bhakti Shastri. He was the youngest graduate of the Māyāpur Academy Mantras course at the age of 3. His father happens to be the teacher. And he's also completed the temple worship course there in Bhakti Shastri at Māyāpur Institute. And so anyway, he'll tell you a little more, but he decided we were just discussing one day as a family how we often forget where we come from in terms of our history. And we have so much that we take for granted. We have temples, we have deities, we have other devotees, we have yatras to India. And it's easy to forget that there was a lot of sacrifice that went into giving us everything that we have. And so Raj Mohan thought of a way that we could remind ourselves of that and have some fun while doing it and experience some of the adventure that went into creating what ISKCON is today. But I'm going to let him talk about that, and I'll set it up so you can all have a look. You can go to the front.
Hare Krishna. So as she said, we were one day discussing with the family that so we should have a game about ISKCON history, and that about ISKCON and 4 people in ISKCON. So after that conversation, I started doing some research into early ISKCON temples, into the history of ISKCON online, also in books. I also spoke to some devotees who were there at that time, and slowly started developing this project, this game. And it took a few years actually. Along the way there are a lot of struggles and also a lot of devotees who came forward to help with it. And just around 2 months ago we finished, and Just 2 months ago we finished it, and now it's ready. We launched it during Kartik. And the way the game works, most of you are probably familiar with Monopoly. So it's set in the 60s and 70s when ISKCON is first starting and quickly expanding around the world. So what you do in this game is you go around the board, you go around the world, and you're sponsoring all of these early ISKCON temples. So you're sponsoring them, you're developing them. All of the first temples that were opened while Srila Prabhupada was here, New York, San Francisco. From around the world also, we have Nairobi in Kenya, we have Sydney and Melbourne in Australia. Along the way, you'll also get different services, different events will happen. You might be sent to serve in a specific place. Srila Prabhupada might ask you to come with him on a flight. You might have to spend some time at the police station for distributing books you weren't supposed to. And generally, you go through these different services, different things happen, but you keep going and you're trying to sponsor as many temples as you can, expand ISKCON around the world. You can have a look at the board. And you're also trying to develop your temples. You want to build ashrams and restaurants and guest houses there. You start in... Yes. Yeah. It functions like the jail, yeah, but without the negative connotation. Yeah. In Venezuela. Yes, they're basically the same. Lautoka is in Fiji. Yeah. Okay. So, what I was getting to is also, we have cards for each of the different temples and projects on the board. And each of the cards, on the back, there's a picture and some history of that project. So you can learn about all of the early temples and the different services that the devotees have done. The currency is called Gauranga. So Srila Prabhupada had said that one day we'll have a Krishna conscious nation and the currency there will be Gauranga. So our currency is also Gauranga. Yeah, these are books. Yeah. There isn't a conversion rate is a bit unclear. And food for life, yeah. The railroads are these different projects: Radha Damodar Party, Padayatra, BBT Party, and yes. Thank you. Sure. I mean, Monopoly can take hours sometimes, but you can try if you like. Okay, so Monopoly has, you pay the same price for a house or hotel anywhere. With these, there are different prices for each temple. So it tells you how much it costs to build different buildings. Build ashram, restaurant, and guest house, yeah. Yes, exactly. It's the same way in Monopoly. When you run out, then, yeah, you're out of the game and whoever's...
But if you're sponsoring, you're giving money.
Yes. You collect donations. Yeah. Because so there are a lot of factors went into that. There was first the actual financial state or value of that temple, because New York is 60s and 70s, and New York was just a storefront at that time. Yeah, and also these are books. Yeah, it says Bhagavad Gita on the front. Yes. Also the prominence in ISKCON and how much time Srila Prabhupada spent there. Typewriter.
straight out of a Soviet Union course? That's so funny. No way. How many of these drinks do you guys take?
We've printed 1,000 of them, so we have maybe 500 left. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry? Yes, I do. We don't have anything solid yet, but there are lots of ideas. Yeah. The actual game took only a few months, most of it, but figuring out how to make lots of copies took a few years.
How was the manufacturing process? What did you do?
So we manufactured most of it in India. The pieces were in Hong Kong, but the board and the cards were all in India. We had a devotee in Pune who helped us with it.
You had to contact distribution on your own and everything?
Yeah, he's helping us with that also, but we're shipping out to different places. So that sends you here. Food for love. Yeah, you go there. Yeah.
This is amazing.
Oh no way, this is so smart. That's so smart.
These books are flying in the Christmas
Wait, are these for sale?
They are for sale.
Oh wow, okay.
Can we buy this today, or is it just a promo?
We are thinking of sending a bunch to ISV.
Oh, okay. We can buy it there.
Yeah.
You might need to send 100.
You have something. I'm based in Sydney, so is it possible to get one set right now?
Yeah, we have 4 right here, so
Can I reserve one? This is so creative.
yeah.
Are you going to put it in the gift shops?
We hope to. We don't have any yet, but we're hoping to. We are going to be sending. We have in New Govardhan already. But I don't think we have anything in Sydney yet.
How much does one of these cost?
It's $35.
$35?
It's 15 a street.
I'm buying one for
Yeah, wait, just put it in your board, like in your room. Yeah, get your friends to play with it. Everyone is coming to This is so nice. It's actually so nice. Where's the dice?
Some of it. Not especially, but I did most of it, but other people have.
I'm buying one today. Just please keep one for me.
Okay.
How do you make art?
Sorry. Yeah, there's a treasure. Yeah. So the sizes are a bit messed up, but these are ashrams, red, orange, red ashrams, yellow guest house.
Can I see this orange card? Who wants to join? Oh, Radha Krishna, which one is it? Radha Krishna Temple. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone.
No, how much money do you start on these?
No.
How many more on this do you get?
4 of each. How did you get so fast?
Everyone's gonna start playing now.
Madhuri Saki.
Can't put news articles.
Yeah, yes, sorry. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. If the devotees can please take a seat. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Please take a seat. 2 times. If you can hear me, raise your hand.
Okay.
And then you say, if you can hear me, say shh. Hare Krishna, if you can hear me, raise your hand. If you can hear me, say shh. That works, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to hand it back to Mataji so she can tell us a little bit more on this treasure and how you can get hold of it.
Okay, so this is really Raj Mohan's project, but everyone's been saying to me, you did so well. I have to be honest, I didn't do anything. This was really very much his project, from the idea to the research to the development. He had to learn how to design, how to research, how to interview devotees, how to design, how to print and publish, and now sales and marketing. So he's learning all of that. It's been a good education. And it's so wonderful when we have some aspiration to serve, and then Krishna gives the facility for that to manifest. Is very exciting and wonderful and fulfilling. Raj Mohan devotees are asking about ordering, how they can order the game. Are most of you from ISV? Is everyone from ISV? No, not everyone. All around the world. Okay. So how do you want to go about that?
Okay. So approximately how many are from ISV? Okay, so maybe half. Okay, we can send to ISV, so that's half of you. For everyone else, we have stock in different places. If you want, you can talk to me and we'll see if there are already games where you are. And if not, we can give you today or we can ship them to you. So yeah, we have limited games here now, but we can send wherever you are.
So we have, yes, Prabhu? Can I use this? 20 Gaurangas are priceless. It would be shameful of us to take your Gaurangas in exchange for some material object. So we have games available here in Māyāpur for those who are asking. Happy to take your order and bring those over to you. Otherwise, we have games in America, in England, in Europe, in Australia, in Canada. So if you're on social media, where it's the account is Bhakti Boards, like board games, so bhakti.boards. Otherwise, you can reach out to me. And what's your email address? tetvgame@gmail.com. To every town and village is the name of the game, so tetvgame@gmail.com. And yeah, we're happy to get those to you however we can. Thank you for your time and attention. Haribol.
Okay, so as those who like to take the opportunity to have them, so please let us know. Mataji, we will be finishing around 1:30 today. So would you be around? So those devotees who want to take it today, like my wife is already nodding, she wants to take it right now. So at 1:30 we can take it from you, and others who want to also take, they can take. And other devotees who want to take it in their local town, they can talk to you about that information. Is that okay? Okay. So if you can be back here around 1:30 down in the reception, that will be great. Then devotees can. Could you tell us the cost? Devotees are asking.
Yeah, the game is 1,700 rupees in India. It's $35 in America.
1,700 rupees. It's a bargain. Take it here in India if you want to do it. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Haribol. Okay. Don't try to do maths. Just do it. Take it here. Okay, we're going to now have our final showcase for the last showcase for the retreat. So what is the name of the showcase? You don't have one. Haribol. Okay. Let's invite Haribol.
I'll explain in a second.
Can I give it to you right now?
Yeah, we have.
3 mics is good?
Yeah.
Is there any more?
No,
yeah, 3 sides.
Yeah. Haribol. So for our showcase, before we get into the showcase, we have randomly selected 1, 2, 3, 4. No, just wait. We have randomly selected a group of people to help us with this showcase. So once we call your name out, please step outside into the hallway. We just want to talk to you for 2 minutes, and then we'll carry on with the.
Everyone, please give a loud Haribol to whoever gets called up.
Okay. We haven't called anyone out yet. After. So the first person. Do you want to read?
The first person is Shastra Saraprada. The next
person is Anshu. Okay, you use use it.
The next person is Harai Pran Prabhu.
The next person is my dad, Divinam Prabhu. And then it's Chaitanya.
And Chaitanya. Yeah. And now the last two people are Shrikar and Gopal. Please step up. What? No, just step outside though. It's okay. It's just a small conversation. It's fine.
One quick request, there's a talk going on the other side, so if you can somehow laugh in our mind.
Okay, we will be back in 2 minutes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.
Yes. Play for me, please. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Shas, where is my phone? No, we can stand out here. Can I have my phone? Yeah, not yet. Okay.
I have to be next to you.
Okay. Is this working? Haribol, is it?
No, it's not working.
Haribol? Okay. Okay. So we will begin. 500 years ago, in Bengal, a spiritual revolution had begun. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught his followers
Mahaprabhu ordered all the citizens of Navadvip to chant Hare Krishna mantra, and in each and every home they began performing Sankirtan regularly.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna.
When the Sankirtan movement thus started, no one in Navadvip could hear any other sound other than the words Hari Hari
Hari Hari
and the beating of the mridanga and clashing of kartals. Hearing the resounding vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, the local Muslims and envious Brahmanas, who were greatly angered, submitted a complaint to Chand Kazi. Now, we are back in Navadvip Dham, where the devotees and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have started Harinam Sankirtan again.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Chand Kazi angrily came to one home in the evening when he saw Kirtan going on. He picked a mridanga and smashed it on the ground. He spoke as follows: "No one should perform a Sankirtan on the streets of my city. Today I am excusing this offense and returning to my home. But the next time..." Thank you. But the next time I see anyone performing such Sankirtan, I shall confiscate all of his property and convert him into a Muslim.
Then the Qazis left. And the devotees were full of anxiety. Anxious? You're anxious. And approached Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was furious and ordered them to continue the Harinam Sankirtan and have faith in the holy name. And the Kirtan started again.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
That night, Chand Kazi went to bed.
And in his dream, he was visited by none other than Narasimhadev.
Narasimhadev jumped on his chest. Laughing fiercely and growling. He spoke angrily, saying, "I will break your body, just as you broke that mridanga. You have forbidden the performance of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Therefore, I must destroy you. However, I will be merciful towards you and will not take your life. But if you perform such activities again, I should not be tolerant, and I should kill you and your family and all the meat eaters."
Chand Kazi then woke up and saw scratches on his chest, and that his beard was burnt. And his
The next morning, Mahaprabhu and his devotees led a massive Harinam party to the gates of Chand Kazi's home.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
The kirtan terrified Chand Kazi, and he hid in his room. But the kirtan got louder and louder.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Finally, the Qazi came out and bowed his head to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and invited him into his home.
Then Mahaprabhu and Chand Kazi had a discussion.
After hearing Chand Kazi speak, Mahaprabhu smiled and told him that since he has accepted the holy name, all his sinful reactions had been nullified.
Chand Kazi also told Mahaprabhu about his dream where Narasimhadev tore his chest, scratched it, and threatened to kill him. And now he was convinced of the power of the holy name. After the Qazi talked with Mahaprabhu, tears flowed from his eyes.
He immediately touched the lotus feet of the Lord. Mahaprabhu promised that the Sankirtan movement would never be stopped in Navadvip Dham.
John Kazi promised that, not Mahaprabhu. After this, along with Bhakta John Kazi, Mahaprabhu and all his associates performed Harinam Sankirtan.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribol. Oh, can we have a big Haribol for all the devotees who came outside and participated, even though we told them about this just 10 minutes ago, and they were very good sports. Bol.
So this is the part of the Yatra where we have sharing of reflections. Some of you have given some thoughts as we've called on 10 and then 10, and some of you haven't had a chance to share. Some of you might want to circle back and share. Last year we had a smaller group and it took us 3 to 4 hours for everyone because devotees had a lot to say. So we may have to, you may have to, we all may have to keep it shorter. If everyone wants to say something, just consider that there may be quite a few more, so maybe abbreviate as much as possible. Or not, according to how you feel. And we have up until 1 o'clock. So that's about an hour and a half, which goes by really quickly. Maybe some of you have written something and you want to share it, any of your main realizations from the event. So someone can start us off. Simran, would you like to go? Were you raising your hand? Yeah, please come.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. So throughout the Yatra, there have been so many sparks that I've taken note of, and I really like to express things in the form of poetry because I feel like it helps me assimilate everything that I've picked up. And so I wrote something that I want to share. It's either called The Overflowing Cup or Don't fool around and fall in love. From Ulta Danga's hallowed stair, where Srila Prabhupada's presence lingers in the air, I climb the stairs with a heart aflame, attempting to reignite my spiritual life again. Each spark I've gathered, each moment of grace, has filled an eternal treasure chest that can never be erased. Once burdensome, my sadhana now begins to reveal a shelter of solace where my heart can heal. Real happiness is no fleeting art. Spiritual supplements alone can nourish the heart. Through bhajans sung in haunting tune, I feel awakened to the light of Gauranga's moon. The scriptures a wonderland to explore, each verse a temple, each word a door. I'm filled with excitement and hope to step inside, where wisdom and love for Krishna abide. Before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we read out our goals. Great heights can be reached through aligning heart and soul. If it fails, compost it, you said with compassion. Even mistakes have wisdom to bring us to action. Krishna, not a thing, but the thing. Your words encourage me to embrace this teaching. No mechanical process can reveal his face. It's through love, service, and divine embrace. At Srivas Angan, with hearts to the floor in obeisance, we begged for strength to spread love, bring deliverance. For cities await where souls have strayed. Amidst their harshness, let bhakti's light cascade. At Yogapeeth, we made a sankalpa to leave mundane attachment behind, embracing the divine with a heart refined. For the moon-like face of the Lord is the only drinking vessel we require to satiate the eyes that seek all that is beautiful in this world, fulfilling our greatest desire. The fizz of the world fades into the night. Spiritual happiness permeates beyond our material sight. Dear Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, may we always stay steady in service, come what may. This yatra has taught me to give and share, to carry this gift with loving care. The baton of bhakti isn't just mine, it's a treasure that has been passed on throughout time. The cup overflows, my heart expands, through chanting and hearing with joined hands. Forever on yatra, let us all stay, living for Krishna each and every day. Drowning in ignorance, I fail to recall the causeless wave of mercy that has overcome us all. This yatra has awakened appreciation anew. For this movement, a gift beyond measure, it's true. Before this reflection finds its end, I honor the souls I now call friends. All my new spiritual brothers and sisters, in mission aligned, your presence has enriched my heart and mind. Hare Krishna.
Should have had her go last. Thank you very much. Feel free. Dr. Brian.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Devavrata Prabhu and I have been here in Māyāpur for about 5 weeks now. And during that time, I was feeling myself quite stagnant in my practice. Like, you know, anarthas, material desires coming up, and I was wondering, like, what's going on? You know, the Dham is supposed to be merciful. I'm supposed to have an easier time here. And then I realized through this yatra that it's through the mercy and association of devotees that I can actually sort of access that that mercy and kind of be able to see a little bit more and access a little bit more. And actually, one funny thing is we were supposed to leave here 2 weeks ago. We had a flight and everything to Pune, but I fell sick actually, and the doctor said I should stay, I should not travel. And I'm seeing now that actually this is some arrangement of Mahaprabhu. So I'm feeling very, very grateful that he's allowed me to, come on this yatra and have all of your association. I feel very grateful for that. And I'm definitely feeling very inspired now in my practice, feeling like I have renewed strength and determination, which I'll take back with me to my services in the West. And one last thing is that I feel like this Sangha here, it's like, there's something super special about it that I've never experienced before in my entire life. It's like everybody's so close with each other. Everybody has such great taste for hearing and chanting, and your classes are just so uplifting and inspiring. And I feel my consciousness just rescued by everything that I've felt here. And I was just thinking that back in the West, I've seen the young kids in the colleges. They're actually they're very lonely. They're very depressed, and they have nothing like this. Nothing even close. So I'm just feeling very inspired, and seeing the need to somehow invite them into a sangha like this and create more sanghas like this. So that's kind of my reflection.
Hare Krishna. I know I mentioned in Kolkata that one of the main reasons I came on this yatra was to connect with Srila Prabhupada. And I think I did that in an enormous way that I didn't even expect. That was my biggest takeaway, I think, because you mentioned this in lecture that Prabhupada has always been a myth and a legend to us. His story has been told since we were babies, and I never fully grasped how much he worked to bring the movement to the West up until we visited all these places where he preached, where he boarded the Jaladuta. And I was just thinking about it. Prabhupada was the age of my grandfather when he did this, and I cannot imagine my grandfather doing what Prabhupada did. And it really put things into perspective. And another thing that really stuck with me was in the Dumna Maharaj's lecture at Srila Prabhupada's birthplace, Maharaj was mentioning how multiple generations of devotees had gathered in the place where it all started. And I thought that was so powerful because Vraja, she was sitting right next to me, and I was thinking, wow, this is truly a multi-generational movement. And I was feeling very honored to be part of it. And my dedication and excitement to preach increased by tenfold. And one thing that was completely unrelated to Srila Prabhupada, but along the same lines, yesterday when you were mentioning in the Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu temple about the Mataji who was speaking to Krishna, so it's just like she was speaking to her son. I was telling Vaishnavi, I was like, one day I really want to be able to tell Krishna, I don't know why you didn't tie your hair up today. And overall, I missed this because I didn't come last year, but I'm so happy I came this year. It re-sparked my spark, and I'm ready to take on the year with all this spiritual battery.
Hare Krishna, everyone. One of my biggest takeaways in general is just allowing things to manifest on this yatra. Actually, me coming on this yatra was a super last minute thing. I was going to go on a different yatra. I was going to go with the Bhakti Center, but that ended up getting canceled. And then, oh boy, I'm so glad that it got canceled. I'm so happy that I'm here with you guys, and I'm so grateful. I'm taking away so much inspiration by by all the folks here. It's like in New York, I'm starting a new trying to coordinate a youth group, and then I've never seen such a youth group so fired up and so spiritually strong, and like you guys. I'm like, the second we boarded on the bus, we started reciting Brahma Samhita. I'm like, what is going on? Like, how? We did the whole thing. I'm like, I've never had this experience before in my life. People are saying they come to the Dham to spiritually, recharge their battery. But I genuinely feel like not only is my battery recharged, but it's expanded and become like a massive, gigantic, double, triple Duracell battery. That I'm so inspired. I can, you guys know bhajans. Like in New York, we have a really, really strong kirtan community. So it's like kirtan is one of my favorite things ever. And we were 24/7 engaged in kirtan. Not only kirtan, we were engaged in bhajans. And that's something that I'm lacking in, and that I've grown a serious appreciation for. Like I've always heard it grow up, but I never really appreciated it as much. Yeah, so I'm so inspired. I want to go back and like I mentioned this morning, with the realization that I had with my japa beads. When the japa beads, when you do the same thing over and over again, and the japa beads tangle up together, and it starts feeling mechanical, people come to the Dham, and then with association, it's easy to loosen up that spiritual journey, I guess. And it's because of you guys that I feel like I'm like locked in now, and I'm like considering like maybe I'll move into the temple. I don't know. This is like I'm so inspired. But yeah, Hare Krishna, dandavat pranams to all of you.
Why don't you go?
I'm so grateful. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna everyone. This year I was nominated / I signed up to be Kirtan coordinator. And what I felt like is that this was a really difficult job. It's not just about picking slots or telling people you sing here. It's about giving support. It's about setting an example, setting the mood, making sure there's constant Harinam, making sure everyone is satisfied and happy. I hope I did an okay job with making sure everyone... I had to make several decisions, and it's possible that I might have had to be stern, or if anything, I'm naturally a very jolly, try to be funny person, and but I felt like there were times where I needed to be serious and convey things seriously, and that's very against my nature. So I would like to apologize if I've hurt anyone or if I've done anything to offend anyone. So please forgive me, and I'd like to thank a couple people for this Kirtan coordinator service. Thank you so much, Vrindavan Natabar Prabhu, for helping people with the Arati. You were a huge help. I don't know where I don't see him. There were times where people didn't come to their slots, or we had to rearrange things, and you were there last minute to help and make sure that everything went smoothly, and I couldn't have done it without you, so thank you so much. One realization I had from doing this service was that, first of all, Maharaj, you deal with so many things all the time. You were talking about a pastime that you had when you were coming from the airport, and then you got a call and you had to take it, and you never know when you receive a call and something crazy happens and you have to take care of it. and yet you still come here, you give your attention to all the youth, and we're able to interact with you, and you're just so happy and peaceful, and I have so much to learn from that. That was just like mind-blowing to me. So I have no words to describe my gratitude towards you, and the inspiration that you've given me just by setting an example, an exemplary example. I'd also really like to thank Divyanam Prabhu, because Divyanam Prabhu he organizing this yatra, he gets a lot of flame from a lot of people, I'm sure. And being an organizer of the yatra, he's dealing with all the rickshaws. I don't even know how he does that. Everything. I'm so inspired. I'm so inspired by Divyanam Prabhu. So please. So this service was one part of my yatra. Second part of my yatra was listening to Maharaj's lectures. Throughout all of Maharaj's lectures, I was taking extensive notes. I asked Maharaj before the start of the yatra, I was like, I don't remember anything. Is it okay? Or like, what should I do? And he's just like, just come here and just participate and put your full mind into it. And I did that, and I also took notes because I knew I would forget. And I have a lot of quotes, a lot of verses that I have written down, and I'm going to go back and attempt to memorize this year. So please pray for me, Maharaj. Please pray for me, everyone, so I can apply whatever learnings we've had in lecture, so I can do that. I remember asking this question. This is a final point because I don't want to take too much more time. I asked this question earlier in Yatra. It's like, how do I get mercy? But that question was like definitely not necessary if I thought about it properly, because I definitely have mercy. We all have blessings of devotees to even be here, and to spend time together and perform devotional service together. It's very rare that, out of thousands of people, only very few are able to be here and perform Harinam Sankirtan, perform devotional service together under the guidance of Maharaj and senior devotees. So I'm just really thankful. Thank you so much, everyone. Last thing I'll say, Maharaj said this, and this really struck me. The relationship between Radha and Krishna is the emotional entanglement we need to get into. So, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma. From where to start? Thank you so much, Divyanam Prabhu, for organizing this, and Rindarika Mataji for your amazing support in everything. I went to Kartik retreat with Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, and got so inspired by the association of all the devotees and everything which was just happening. I never knew that this kind of thing actually existed. So I deeply desired for my children to experience the same spark and spiritual joy that comes from the divine association of Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma. Their wisdom, love, and example have been transformative in my own journey. And I want my children to feel the same inspiration, to be guided, uplifted, and connected to Krishna through their association. It is my prayer that this experience ignites a lifelong commitment to bhakti in their heart, shaping their lives with purpose, devotion, and love for Krishna and his devotees. Being in the holy dham of Māyāpur, the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, was incredibly uplifting. This retreat actually provided a sacred opportunity to not only connect with Krishna, but also to immerse myself in the teaching of pure bhakti. Witnessing the youth chant, serve, and engage in Krishna inspired me to deepen my own sadhana and reminded me of the transformating power of Krishna consciousness. Seeing the enthusiasm and dedication of the youth was heartwarming and gave me hope for the future of this movement. It also reminded me of my responsibility to guide my children towards Krishna with love and patience. This retreat reinforced the importance of creating a spiritually nurturing environment at home, where chanting, reading, and service are naturally encouraged. And the last thing is the unity among youth from diverse backgrounds was a beautiful reminder that Krishna consciousness transcends all material differences. Their energy and a commitment reminded me that bhakti is a dynamic and joyful process, one that can inspire all generations, including us as the parents. Returning home, I feel inspired to integrate what I experienced into daily life, whether it's encouraging my children to chant more attentively, organizing regular family kirtans, or increasing my own commitment to service. This retreat has really given me a clear vision of how to align my family life with Krishna consciousness. Thank you everyone for all your help. Thank you.
Parikshit.
Hare Krishna everyone. So I have one reflection from each part of the yatra. So for the first reflection is from GV. So I was telling my mom on the flight that I was a bit nervous because I was a bit young for the yatra and everyone here is like a lot older than me, so I was nervous like, are they going to include me or so? And as soon as I came to GV, I sat down with my prasadam. As soon as I sat down, Aditya came to me and said, do you want to sit with us? And so from then everyone was including me and nobody said anything about my age. They all included me. And in GV, I really liked the reading session where you talked about be a sage page by page. I've heard of that slogan before, but I didn't know about for this book, if you read this amount of pages, you'll finish it in this amount of time. So I didn't know about that, so I'll definitely try that out because it seems cool. And in Kolkata, as I said before, it was my first time distributing books. And your system of the lollipop, sticker, book, and mountain pose really worked. Because I would give them the book and I would stand there in the mountain pose and they would look at me for a few seconds. And they would pull some Lakshmi out of their pocket and give it to me. So that really helped me and encouraged me to continue. And in Māyāpur, during our goal setting, we were talking about setting our priorities. And based on our priorities, we should set short-term goals and long-term goals. So that really helped me set my goals for the new year. And as a token of my appreciation, I have a small gift for all of you.
Aww. Thank you. Wow. Shringadev ki jai. One more time for Pariksha. Vrajaras and then part.
I have 3 reflections. The first one was, I think you probably got a sense of it through my questions and some others maybe from my discussions, but I was always, before coming on Yatra, I was feeling a bit anxious if I'm doing enough, if I'm doing what is required to advance and to get better at devotional service and my spiritual life, because I was feeling quite held back by my own life and my choices and so on. And so I felt very encouraged on this yatra, like to just do whatever I'm doing and just keep doing that. And gradually things will work out. And Krishna consciousness it's universal, it's present everywhere in my life. It's not that I only do it on a weekend for a couple hours, but it's there throughout my week. And that felt really encouraging, and I can take that back and feel more grounded in my practice and feel more confident about it, and rather just improve step by step than trying to do anything drastic. The second reflection I had, I was reflecting on Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and just the way they were so merciful. And this year, the song Parama Karuna has been my favorite because it's just such a sweet song that even the birds and beasts are crying and are feeling so much love for them because they're so touched by them. And it's amazing that these two personalities have touched so many people. And being a part of our Jagai and Madai drama or musical, it was special to really feel their emotions. So before it, the way we created our script was it was adapted from Radhanath Swami's lecture on Jagai and Madhai, and it's such a wonderful lecture because he has so much drama in his voice when he speaks on these pastimes, and it was a 2-hour lecture. 30 minutes were on the pastime of them becoming devotees, and then an hour and a half was just the glories of Jagai and Madhai, which I found really interesting. That doesn't usually happen when people talk about it. And he would emphasize the point that Nityananda Prabhu was so merciful that he made them devotees. And because Mahaprabhu gave this command, this instruction, and he was, I need to find the worst person on this planet, and I'm going to make him a devotee, and that will be the statement. And he was so merciful. And then when you sang Doyal I think it was at Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, and you also sang it before at some place. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And that line, Markai Premade, Markai Premade, Doyal Tonahe, Markai Premade, Doyal Tonahe. I'm forgetting the exact word, but it's basically, even after getting hit, he still gave prema to them. And that's just so kind. Like, how do you find someone like that? And whenever I see Indradumna Maharaj especially, I feel like he's that Nityananda Prabhu type personality where he's just freely giving it to anyone and everyone in such dramatic fashion without any care. And same with you and Radhanath Swami. You're all the embodiment of that same mood of just giving Krishna consciousness, giving the holy name to every single person. And even when we're getting yelled at by Bengalis, as Parikshit was saying, we're still trying to give them the books and the holy name and all that. And it's such a kind and encouraging mood that we have in this movement. And I was reflecting on how it started from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and especially with Jagai and Madhai. And then my third reflection is I just wanted to thank Rudra for being my roommate. It was a great experience being with Rudra. I never met him before, and he's from London. And we had some interesting conversations, and he comes from a completely different background than me in how he came into Krishna consciousness, and then also how he thinks about it right now. And so it was very interesting to get to know him better and live with him for a couple days. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, first I want to respond to Braj about him saying he doesn't do enough service, but he does more than almost all of the youth combined at ISV. And then, okay, so for my reflection, the main thing I'm going to take away is from Rannath Maharaj's class. He said, no matter what you do, keep your sadhana going and don't criticize anyone. So those are two of my main goals for this year, to consistently chant rounds and try my best not to criticize anyone. And then I also wanted to shout out some people. And so similar to Shrikar, I was elected as youth rep. I ran 3 years straight. I lost the first 2 elections, and then I finally won this one. And in the past 2, I saw people like Brajarasa was a youth rep for the past 2 years. I was like, oh, all he got to do is make some room lists, he plays some games, that's all he does, he has fun. That's not what it is. And Anushri, Krishna and I, we spent almost 8 to 10 hours designing the merch and another 3 to 4 on rooms before the Yatra started, including showcases. And it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, thanks because they were amazing people to work with. Krishna was always our hype man. He was keeping us going. And Anushri was amazing to work with. Whenever I needed help, she would be there, and then whenever she needed help, we would both be there, so it was amazing. And additionally, I'd like to shout out Abhay for being an amazing roommate. Except with the caveat of never waking up to his own alarms. But additionally, I wanted to shout out Raj and Divyanam Prabhu and Vrindarika Ramya Mataji for being amazing organizers, and especially Raj, who is amazing. Whenever I needed a computer to do some work for the youth rep, he let me just walk into his room because it was always unlocked. Even if he wasn't there, I could take his computer, do my work, put it back, and he wouldn't mind, which I thought was so sweet and amazing. And then finally, Amoda Vardhana, who unfortunately is not here anymore, but he was helping with the projectors in the starting. And then after I took over, when he left, I realized how good he was at it. He would always have the slides like perfectly straight on the whiteboard, which is really hard to do. And he was amazing at it, so I wanted to shout him out as well.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So before this yatra, I was thinking about what I wanted to take away from it, what I wanted to focus on. And the first thing that sort of came to mind was chanting. I found that this past year, the quality of my chanting had not been the best, regardless of the consistency. Most of my rounds were done very late at night after finishing homework, and so it was just Hare Krishna, like there was no purpose behind saying the mantra. And so when I came, I was trying to focus a lot on the holy name. And once we started getting into the japa circles, I realized how much I missed the practice of chanting with a group, because it helps me focus on the name so much. Even if I stop chanting for a minute, the mantra is still going on in the background, so I'm able to hear it constantly. And then even besides that, you gave so many helpful tips throughout all of these sessions. And I especially liked, if you fix your japa, you fix your life. And I really want to take that into the next year. But yeah, I feel that my chanting just in these past 10 to 12 days has been a lot better than it has in the past year, especially in Dham. And I'm hoping that within the next year, I'm able to focus more on the quality of my chanting and making sure that I'm giving Krishna attention while I'm chanting. And your lectures and your tips really helped with that, so I'm feeling feeling recharged for the next year regarding that point. And then I also, this happened last Yatra too, but I find that whenever I visit places like Kolkata and Māyāpur, I'm left with a deep sense of gratitude, which I know has been a really big theme of this Yatra. I'm very, very grateful to be here in the Association of Devotees, very grateful for Srila Prabhupada, and for your association as well. And so I remember that in one of your lectures, you said that, I think it was one of your godbrothers who woke up every morning, stood in front of a picture of Srila Prabhupada and said, thank you. And that struck me really hard, and I think that's a practice that I want to start implementing in the morning, where I wake up and I go in front of my deities or in a picture of Srila Prabhupada and I say thank you. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, which we visited yesterday. I think that was my favorite place out of all the places we visited this year. And I can't quite explain why, but I think it was, I walked in and you were talking about the feeling of people considering him a hometown hero. And when I looked at him, I genuinely got that vibe. He had his hands out open, and it was like he was calling for all of us to come to him. And then when we were chanting and we were doing the bhajans, I felt like he was so happy. He looked so happy. He had his hands out, and everyone around us was so happy that I found myself very honestly emotional being there. So I'm looking forward to revisiting Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu because I really enjoyed the experience. And yeah, I just have some final thank yous. I wanted to thank specifically Vrindarika Mataji. This yatra, I felt very supported by her. She was always around to help, even if it was me waking her up at like 4 a.m. to have her help me pin my sari, and she did it, no complaints. And then going shopping with all the girls, like she tolerated all of it. And so I'm very, very grateful for her and for her support. And then lastly, I also wanted to thank Sachi and Abhay for our showcase. And it's because I initially didn't really want to do anything relating to a skit, but they stuck with it, and they somehow convinced me to do it with them. And it was a really fun experience writing that. So, thank you. Very fun.
Mukund Hari.
Hare Krishna. I often get feedback from a lot of friends and well-wishers that I'm a bit reserved when it comes to myself, so I'll try to be a bit more open and vulnerable for this one. Just a week or so before this retreat, S.B. Keshava Maharaj said this wonderful quote which stuck with me. He said, "It's great to be absorbed in service, but it's also a service to be absorbed." And that's something I kept in the back of my head coming to the retreat. And if I were to summarize the entire Global Youth Retreat for myself in one word, that would be home. And I'll just elaborate that in 3 ways. Home is first of all an origin. It's somewhere you start from, and that was especially true for me, given the wonderful itinerary of this retreat. It started in Govardhan Eco Village. Chowpatty is my family's home temple. So I grew up in Mumbai, and all of the people there, I was literally born in front of people like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, Gauranga Prabhu, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, others who I got to meet there. And that was an incredible start in and of itself, plus GEV is non-different from Vrindavan, which is also home. But then Kolkata is where I was born, and that was our second city. And literally 3C Albert Road, the hospital next to that, so there was a garden. That hospital is where literally I was born, and my elementary school was just the one next to the garden as well. And as we were going through those streets, I remember I irritated some of the co-passengers on the bus as well. I was like, I used to walk here. They're like, let us do kirtan or distribute books. But but a lot of nostalgia, a lot of good memories. And then because I lived in Calcutta and there was a time where the Calcutta temple wasn't so frequently visited by many of us in the congregation. So we used to come to Māyāpur instead. I used to come to Māyāpur, I remember as a kid, almost every month sometimes, just for a weekend or so, but almost every month. And then it's been a few years since I had the opportunity to visit Śrīdhāma Māyāpur. And I remember as I walked into the temple room, the first time we went to Chandrodaya Mandir, entered through Panchatattva, I don't remember having cried so much ever in my last several years, since teenage or something. Although I'm not that old, but in front of Mahaprabhu. It just brought back so many memories and such a deep sense of connection that I couldn't explain. Just a pouring of heart out and that feeling of separation, which I also do so frequently feel abroad where I live alone last 4 years. Although I have a fantastic community and sense of friends and new family now in the United Kingdom, that sense of separation from India and home is always there. So home in one sense is an origin. But secondly, from all the lectures and all the learnings we have and the not only the philosophy but also the practice, we know home is also a destination. As Indradyumna Maharaj makes sure we always remember back home, back to Godhead ki jai. So home is also a destination, and retreats like this do a wonderful job at reminding us of that destination and all of what we need to do to get there. But most importantly, what I took away is that yes, home's an origin, yes, home's a destination, but home can also be a journey and a state. And in between that, as they say, feeling at home, if there is sincerity, if there is a sense of belonging, if there is a sense of camaraderie, sense of community, sense of conviction in the process, a sense of confidence, and Radhanath Maharaja had the wonderful fortune of just being at the right place at the right time in GV. So he saw me, and I got to speak to him for a minute, and he asked me, he remembered me, which was great, thank you. And then he was like, and his only question was, "Are you happy?" And I was just thinking that I wasn't happy. I haven't been happy, not so happy anyway, last several months. But when he asked me that, I genuinely felt happy. I wasn't saying yes just for the sake of saying yes. And almost a split second after he asked me the question, I said yes very genuinely, knowing that, I was truly happy in that moment. And I have been through the retreat. And in Radhanath Maharaj's Kartik Yatras, they have this concept of taking the retreat home or taking the Yatra home. They say that at the end of every Yatra, but I feel like anywhere can now be home if we keep the teachings close to our heart and we embrace what Prabhupada has created for us, this global family, which is so well evidenced in the way ISV is just with open arms, so warm and fuzzy and welcoming and friendly. I've never been to the US in my entire life. I've only connected with ISV on Zoom. But the moment I came to GV on day 2, just the sense of digital connectivity I had with so many people who I won't name and shame, but I am so incredibly grateful. Thank you for helping me come back home. Thank you for making me remember what home is. And thank you for helping me feel at home throughout.
Hare Krishna. So I'm just going to offer a few quick gratitudes, and then I also have a short composition, although it's not quite as well rhymed as Simran's. I want to offer gratitude first to Guru Maharaj for being always so available and accessible on this yatra to answer any kind of questions that all of us have had. It's really wonderful to have that attention and open communication. It's really a wonderful opportunity. To Guruma for always being the most ecstatic dancer in Kirtan and getting the rest of us fired up just by seeing you. Every time I see you, you're always dancing. I got a lot of really nice practical advice from Tejas on this trip also. Thank you, Tejas Prabhu, for being a good thought partner. And same to Aditya Prabhu for a lot of really nice, enlivening conversations in the evenings in our room. And last to Simran Prabhu for, even in her sari, running as fast as me to our next destination. So what I've written, I'll start saying now. Every day at 3:45, my alarm goes off, and yet I'm never quite sure if I shall go. By Prabhupada's mercy and the devotees too, I've gotten up to see Krishna, deep blackish blue. Joining Simran, running across Māyāpur, we ran to Prabhupada. Amito Kangal Krishna Krishna Boli Dai Tave Pache Pache. Then just as faster, 4:30 now, we run to Panchatattva, pushing our way through the residence gate, perhaps leaving the security guards a little irate. After that, we dashed off again, this time to worship with Gurudev. By causeless mercy, it's us he's chosen to save. After all, what is a visit to the Dham by ourselves? We are blind. It's only because he is so kind that we can find all the spiritual places where Mahaprabhu's mercy is lined. So as we ran from place to place, chanting Sam Saradava Nalalid Haloka 3 times, taking Tri Sandhyam very seriously, how could I feel anything but gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj for facilitating my Dham debut? Deeply grateful, I resolved to keep running to see the cowherd boy, deep blackish blue. I will keep going to Mangalarti, and I'm not a sheep. Please bless me with an early bedtime and a restful sleep.
Vaishnavi.
Hare Krishna. Early on in the Yatra in Govardhaniko village, you mentioned that we don't have to look for sparks and that Krishna will just, they'll appear themselves and you know when they are the sparks. And I think I was expecting to feel a certain... Sorry. Sorry. I think I was expecting to feel a certain way in certain places. I've always wanted to go to Māyāpur, so I was really looking forward to this portion, and I thought I would feel a lot of emotions here, but I did not end up feeling as many emotions as I did in Kolkata, and especially in Alta Danga Junction Road. I think that was the day where I felt a lot of connection to Prabhupada, and I think throughout my entire Krishna conscious journey, I really lacked that connection. I felt the connection to Krishna and Radharani, but it just never happened with Prabhupada, and that was something I was very grateful for having. And I realized that I shouldn't waste a lot of time, especially because Prabhupada works so hard to give us everything that we have, and all of the acharyas made it so accessible for us. And having everything already being handed to me, I shouldn't take advantage of it. I mean, I should take advantage of it. And one of the main things that you said throughout this yatra was don't fool around. And even Indiramna Swami said, stop your nonsense. And I was like, okay, this is my sign. I can't just waste my time anymore. And the second thing I wanted to say was at Surbikund, you said that it's impossible to cross the ocean of birth and death without the mercy of the spiritual master and the previous acharyas. And I took this very seriously, and it also reminded me of something you said in Japa Jolt once about how the Maha Mantra are the ropes of the bridge, and you have to cross over the ocean of birth and death by focusing on one bead at a time. And I think this really stuck with me, and I would like to meditate more upon it in the future. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaja. I'm very grateful for being on this retreat and having such a wonderful experience. It was beyond what I anticipated. I really enjoyed the collective recitations of the prayers, the Sanskrit verses, and the insightful discussions we had, and also the very beautiful and energetic bhajans and kirtan, as well as the Srimad Bhagavatam classes. And visiting all of those holy tirtha places was very remarkable and memorable because each place had a unique and profound meaning to it, and then how you made insightful connections to it. And we learned all these different things that I've probably read or heard from devotees, and now I'm like physically seeing it or experiencing and being there. And I felt I was more connected to Srila Prabhupada with these like rare opportunities to see these places. And I also cherished the book distribution. It was a very special, it's very simple, and it's also very rewarding because so many devotees, so many children, families were taking these. And knowing that the lollipops are Mahaprasad, you feel so like happy that they're getting this mercy from Lord Chaitanya. And I also really liked how we were doing kirtan in the boat, in the rickshaw, on the streets, and in the bus, which was very sweet. And I also liked the japa walk with you. I felt like I was living those moments with Srila Prabhupada that his disciples did in the past. So it was very unique. I really enjoyed it. And I also loved your enthusiasm and encouragement, and of all of those devotees that are sincerely following you. And I got to practically experience how to be a full-time devotee by attending Mangalarti in the morning program. And if it weren't for all this association, I would never have felt safe like in this type of environment. So there's a lot of local people, but still I felt like I was not even starting from GEV. I felt like I was in the Dham, and it was each moment was I could live it to the fullest. And I'm very inspired to learn the prayers and verses and bhajans from the songbook, and like especially the ISV dedicated prayers, which is very nice how everyone is collectively reciting. It was very inspiring. And how I should have reading as a priority by maintaining those close friendships, especially with my roommate Manya, who's not here. We had really nice, insightful discussions, and we hope to like stay in connect with each other. And I seek guidance from all these youth, who are well trained in this. And all the notes that are in this notebook from each lecture I will reflect upon. And I'm overall very grateful, as this yatra will always be a special memory in my Krishna conscious journey. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I was also reflecting on this yatra, and I realized that I missed the date of 1st of January because that marks my 1 year in Krishna consciousness.
Haribol.
So like 1 year, it hasn't been that long, and which also meant that before coming on this yatra I was very anxious, and I was very concerned if I will be able to appreciate Dham, because I felt like I didn't know enough about anything, that I was really new. But so after my finals ended, I was frantically searching for all the references and all the stories about all the places that we were going to visit, so it could help me prepare the right mood, so I could appreciate all the places that I was going at, not just it. And what Indradyumna Maharaj said also, that we're not ordinary tourists. We come here or visit all these holy places to be inspired, and that really made sense, because I was also trying to do something same. And reading has been my priority since I felt like I joined this movement very late. I found Krishna very late, so I always had this sense of urgency, like I have to do it, I have to read, I have to know, because I don't think I have enough time. So your session about mindful reading, focused reading, it also really, really helped. And I can say for myself that having a reading partner really helps with the accountability and everything. So that was also very nice. And
all the places we visited, all the samadhis of the acharyas, and all that you would share with us, it made me realize that they were wonderful devotees, and they were so wonderful. They served their spiritual masters and wonderfully. Srila Prabhupada, all that he did, it's incredible. And I also remember Indradyumna Maharaj saying that serving his glorious master is one's greatest achievement, and that really stuck with me. And I feel like that's something that I'm gonna take home with me and reflect a lot. Think of all the ways that I could be of use to this movement and to all the other devotees. I was also quite nervous because I barely knew anyone on this yatra, but I personally want to thank Geetavali and Madhuri Saki. Madhuri Saki is my roommate, and she's been incredible. I was really, really looking forward to meeting all these wonderful devotees in person, because I would see them on videos and stuff, and they've been very nice. Thank you very much. It just takes me a tad bit longer to break out of my shell, so thank you for being patient with me. And the yatra has been a wonderful experience that I feel like I will really look back on. And also, attending all the morning programs was a little difficult due to some tribulations with my course enrollment and stuff. But all the other sessions and all the other lectures, I also made a lot of notes, and I feel like once I go back, it'll be my priority to just look back and think of all the ways that I could apply all these realizations and make, not just, every time I have some realizations and I write them down, the only concern is did I just write it down because it feels nice to hear or that it hits? But it only matters writing them down if I actually apply them, because if I don't apply, then it doesn't really make any sense. If I'm just reading all of this and feel nice about myself, it doesn't really make any sense. So that has been very nice. One of the other things that I was really looking forward to was Guru Maharaj's and Guru Ma's association, because I've only met you once before in August, and those 4 days I was really desperate for any kind of association. But since you were there for a short time and you had a lot of prior engagements, it was quite difficult. So this yatra, I feel very blessed to be around all the time, and that I get a lot of association. So I was very thankful for that. And I was also very concerned if I would be able to get some mercy. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but then Radhanath Maharaj said that the most qualified and the unqualified equally get Mahaprabhu's mercy. So at the very start of Yatra, when Maharaj said that, I felt relieved. I felt very nice. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be just fine. And so with that said, the prasadam has been amazing. And also, Madhuri, I really, really want to thank her, because we would share reflections at the end of the day, and that really made me go to sleep with a nice consciousness. And thank you for bearing with me this 10 days, and thank you very much for everything, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Guru Ma, and everyone. So before coming on this trip, Maharaj advised me and my sister to not have any expectations, as it was our first time, and I want to thank you for that, as it lowered my anxiety of coming this trip on the first time. So thank you. And this yatra for me has been very eye-opening. I have come to realize what true Krishna consciousness, like waking up at 3 a.m., attending Mangal Arati, chanting attentively, attending Srimad Bhagavatam class, chanting and dancing freely to many kirtans and bhajans, which are now my favorite, and visiting various holy places. And through this yatra, one favorite quote that I love is, "We are here on earth not to work as artisans for making big buildings with wood and stone, but to work only as messengers of the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Deva." So that really, I really like that quote, as it tells me my true purpose of being on earth. as before this yatra, I didn't know my true purpose, so now I know that I have to spread the message as I'm a messenger. And this yatra also helped me realize how selfless and down-to-earth devotees are. So I wanted to specifically thank my roommate, Rudra, as he was one of the first persons that made me feel comfortable on this trip, so thank you so much. And I want to also thank my second roommate, Chakladwala Prabhuji. He's very special to me as he taught me how a devotee lives with love, devotion, and self-discipline. I feel like he's very blessed by Krishna as so far in this trip he has asked me 3 times if I'm comfortable sharing a room with him. So that shows how down to earth he is. And he also very lovingly, respectfully addresses me as Prabhuji, despite me being very younger than him. So I want to really thank for all the respect and love he gave me so far on this trip. So thank you so much. And I also want to thank Divina Prabhuji, Mataji, Maharaj, and Nirkala Mataji for organizing this trip and making this unforgettable trip for me. And lastly, I wanted to thank my sister for bringing me on this trip, as originally I would not be here without her because she's the one who forced me. I did not want to be on this trip because I didn't know that many people thoroughly, so I was really afraid, but I really want to thank her so much. And this trip has been lots of firsts for me. So visiting GAV, learning about the different places, how they reuse energy, that was really fun, really good. And in Kolkata, I can feel Srila Prabhupadaji's energy and how distributed, so that made me energized. And Māyāpur right now, visiting all the temples in TUV especially, that made me feel energized. All the samadhis and temples in India. And the most special part of this trip has been book distribution. As in Toronto, Burlington, I've helped distribute the book distribution, but it's only been setting up the table and just smiling. But this time was actually going out and distributing books, so that was the first for me. And once again, I want to thank everyone for making this memorable trip, and I want to especially thank a few people. I want to thank Riddhi, Hadai Prabhuji, Abhay, Manya, and Amodram Prabhuji, and Krishna Rai Prabhuji for making me feel very comfortable around everybody here, and I hope to be on this trip again.
Part. We have 27 people to go. What should we do?
We can do around 2 minutes per reflection.
Okay.
And then maybe at 3 minutes, so raise your hand so then you can just wrap it up if it's too long.
Okay. Ram.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My main goal on this yatra was to get your association and really hear from you attentively. And I'm just wanted to express my gratitude towards you and towards you and Nirkala Mataji for spending so much time with us, and not just just going throughout the yatra, but spending so much time giving class and talking to us. The way we get taste for hearing Krishna's messages by association with devotees, and I'm extremely grateful for the amount of time that you have given us. As Radhanath Maharaj said, you and Nirkala Mataji are giving your all to us, and that is very perceivable, and I appreciate that so much. One thing I noticed about Maharaj is that he is always absorbed in Shastra, no matter what time it is, even if it's... I remember during the baggage claim in Kolkata, Maharaj was waiting for his bag and he just pulled out his set of verses from Sukeshri Mataji and started reading those. And on the bus or wherever else, he's always absorbed in Shastra, which is the sign of a sadhu. And I really noticed that and took that to heart, which was very, very inspiring. So thank you so much to you and Nirkala Mataji. And I also wanted to thank a couple of people. I wanted to thank Chaitanya for being the best possible. For being the most supportive and useful and best book distribution coordinator that I've ever had. And, well, actually the only partner in book distribution I've had, but he was always carrying the boxes, organizing the Lakshmi inventory, everything, and it was very, very nice to work with him and very inspiring. I also want to very deeply thank Divyanam Prabhu and Vrindarika Ramya Mataji, because the amount of stuff that they do behind the scenes is absolutely insane. And they're also always in such a nice mood, never angry at anybody, always asking how are you doing, how's Prashadam, etc. And so thank you so much to them. And last, I want to thank Dhruv for being an amazing roommate. I didn't know him before Yatra, but we had many great discussions, and he's such a nice devotee, so I was very, very happy to meet him. Haribol.
Okay, don't clap while they're talking, but after. Thanks, Part.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So much gratitude filled in my heart for you and Guru Ma, also to Ram, Gopal and Shrikar for inspiring me to come on this yatra, telling me about it, but I really feel like it's through Nityananda Prabhu's mercy that they inspired me to come, and a little lore that I wanted to share. So when I came on this adult yatra, I kind of hopped on for a few days with my parents back in 2022/2023. One of the days that we were on the yatra was when we went to Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, and I just felt, like Aditi had mentioned, just undescribable feelings seeing that deity and feeling so connected to him. And so during that yatra, there was an individual, Mataji, who purchased, she thought, a Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu for Achyuta Gopi Mataji, and so she brought him back and showed it to her many months later. Then Achyuta Mataji looked at it and she said, oh wow, his base is blue. This is not Mahaprabhu, this is Nitai. And so we started worshiping Nitai, and she brought him everywhere to all these festivals, especially Nityananda Trayadashi, and she gave a really wonderful lecture about how we can pray to Nitai to bring us closer to Mahaprabhu and Radhe Shyam. And I remember that night I prayed to Nitai for 3 things. And as soon as I finished praying, there was like instant reciprocation that the Pujari asked me if I could use the chamara on him. And I was just like, wow, this is so special. And this is indirectly Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu's mercy. And I really feel like it's because of worshiping Nitai and praying to him that he allowed me to come on this yatra and experience all of this with you all. And so again, my kind of like overarching theme of this yatra, even though it may sound a little cliche, it is gratitude. Gratitude to worship the deity in this form, to now take Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu a year later after really sincerely praying to Nitai, who got me out of a really dark place. The last time I was in Māyāpur 2 years ago was probably the lowest point in my life. And he really helped me through it, through praying to him and just showering me with so much unconditional love. And so to be able to come back to the Dham 2 years later and be able to experience Māyāpur in a much happier state of mind, I'm just so grateful for the deity form, for Krishna having so much love for us that he manifests himself in this form, even though we're unqualified to see him in this very early age, as we were reading about in one of the morning classes. Also, so much gratitude to have these temples and holy places to visit, especially felt connected to Srivas Angan. We started the 6-hour kirtan program in New York, and so the lecture that you gave when we were at that spot where Mahaprabhu reveals himself and they have this 24-hour Sankirtan, I felt so inspired to take this inspiration back to me in New York and put that into the program to bring the devotees together. And lastly, gratitude for our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada. I've never felt so connected to the parampara, going to all the samadhis, all the bhajan kutirs, being able to chant these beautiful texts and scriptural verses and bhajans together. Thank you so much for leading us. And one thing I wanted to share on the meta of gratitude is that I really like this sankalpa of thinking of someone to have gratitude for before you start your japa. I've been doing that every day, and it's just been a game changer. So thank you so much for all your shastric wisdom, for your inspiration, your practical advice. This yatra has been so transformative, and really want to thank all of you. I had this intense desire to get to know the ISV youth more now that the age gap is much less. I think everyone was much younger when I had gotten to know them back in the day, and so being able to connect with all of them has been so special. And a special shout out to my roommate Simran, who's been the absolute sweetest, just Yeah, big round of applause for Simran for inspiring all of us in kirtan, being so enthusiastic. One morning, she always was getting up earlier than me and going to the Mangal Arati at like 3:15 a.m. and she would put her extra blanket on me because it was cold in the morning, and that just says so much about her character and how she loves people. So it's a gratitude for you all and Simran and you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Sarprada.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so I only have 2 minutes, so I'm going to try to go very fast. I first want to say that the amount of willingness everyone has to go out of their way for each other is really amazing. When my grandfather had passed away at the beginning of the Yatra, I ended up thinking that I was not going to be able to make it to Māyāpur. And then Divyanand Prabhu had to try canceling my flight, and then I was like, oh, never mind, I'm coming. And then I felt really bad for Divyanand Prabhu because then he had to go and send a oh, never mind email to the flight. And I really wanted to do it myself, but it was like completely beyond my expertise to coordinate everything, so I just let him go. And I say that as if I have some like authority or something, but yeah, it's really amazing. I remember I asked Guru Maharaj, can you please pray for me so I can at least make it to Māyāpur? And Guru Maharaj, you stopped walking, you looked at me, you said, you can come to Māyāpur, and then you kept walking. And I was so confused, and I went to Hadai and I told him, this is what Guru Maharaj said, and he was like, if there's anything I've learned in my life, it is that anything Guru Maharaj says ends up happening somehow or the other, so you're coming to Māyāpur. And by that day, I ended up finding out that I'm actually coming to Kolkata also. So I have some reflections I wrote down, and I just want to read them very quickly without elaborating too much. First is, the mind is a truly disturbing thing, as it has a way of preventing you from concentrating even on the things you love the most. However, the greatest treasure that Krishna bestows in order to reform the mind and haunt it once again with the ghost of previously experienced great rasa is the association of genuine and very advanced devotees that are like-minded to oneself. Discussions with such individuals automatically allow for the deepest of spiritual feelings to be expressed and deepened, thereby allowing for the main thing to be kept the main thing, even when the mind throws its various assaults. When your mind is being annoying, I wrote this more as an instruction to myself. When your mind is being annoying, never forget the impeccable instructions of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. I'll just read the translation of the 2 verses. While here on the revealed path of bhakti, I have been attacked by a gang of my own greed, lust, etc., who have bound my neck with the troublesome, dreadful ropes of wicked deeds. I am being killed. Cry out like this, piteously, to the devotees of Sri Krishna, the destroyer of Bakasur. O mind, they will save you from these enemies. This next one's a little intense. O ruffian mind, why do you burn yourself and me by bathing in the trickling urine of the great donkey of full-blown hypocrisy and duplicity? Instead, you should always bathe in the ocean of love emanating from the lotus feet of Sri Sri Gandharvika Giridhari, thereby delighting yourself in me. The feeling of being overwhelmed by this world, this is the next one. The feeling of being overwhelmed by this world is quickly ripped apart by the blissful katha and naam of the ever-youthful couple Sri Sri Radha Shyam Sundar. Our sole constitutional position is to be the speck of dust at the feet of Sri Rupa Prabhu. This identity and only this identity will allow for the highest spiritual realizations to be attained by the grace of Sri Shachinandan. One's true place of residence is where their mind is. Doing bhajan around advanced Vaishnavas is a very effective way to caress the mind away from its materialistic attachments to unnecessary distractions. After all, one knows they are engaged in sadhu sangha when a natural disinterest in material affairs arises. Mercy isn't earned, it is given beyond one's own capabilities. It is easily available to those who cry for it. I don't deserve to be here, but somehow it happened. The best friendships are truly built on a mutual growth in bhajan. Other relationships are vulnerable to this. Are vulnerable to this world's great destroyer of all things, time. However, the ever freshness of bhakti allows for bhajan-based relationships to thrive, even beyond the confines of this life. Last two. Pride is the silent killer of bhakti. It makes you think you're a good devotee and makes you oblivious realization of one's own ineptitude and reliance on mercy through the association of genuine sadhus. Last one. The goal of all spiritual life is to develop genuine emotional attachment to Krishna and his associates, for us, especially those of Vrindavan Dham. This is the ultimate attainment of any individual. Such attachment is, as well as the desire for such attachment, is especially easily given in Māyāpur Dham, where Mahaprabhu is happily welcoming us to a realized Vrindavan Dham. Mahaprabhu at his very core is a great bestower of hope.
How are we doing, Part? Not good.
Okay, at 2 minutes, we're going to have Shrikar just play a little bit on the mridanga, so that way there's like an audio clue.
Yeah, it's okay to keep it shortish, and I'm sorry it's a little disparate as far as, starting, finishing. It happens like that sometimes. And we can also continue on the forum if you have other thoughts too, without further expression of consternation. Go ahead.
I had a few realizations, and I'll be quick with it. The first one was on the first day you talked about how we come to the Dham to expose ourselves to sparks, and Krishna makes these sparks and we can't force it. And for the past 2 yatras, I felt that spark. And this yatra, I tried my best not to force it, but I didn't really feel many sparks or moments that were very moving for me. But you also in the same lecture mentioned that we're working together to find these sparks. So although I didn't really find that spark within myself, I did see it in others, and that in itself felt like I'm getting a little bit of spark just by looking at the sparks that are being lit in others. And then you also said that Krishna is there to save us from ourselves, and a few devotees had mentioned this, but I found it difficult to concentrate and focus on the importance of everything that we're learning and talking about, because my mind was going in all different directions. So I thought that was really profound, and I tried my best to meditate on that. And then Radhanath Swami Maharaj had shared that the world doesn't just change because we're devotees, and I was reflecting on that a lot, and the solution to that for me was mercy, and I was trying my best in different places to pray for this mercy. And one thing you said was get practiced automatically, which was a quote that really stuck with me, because for the past 10, 12 days, we've been, is it 2 minutes? Okay, sorry. Okay. For the past 10, 12 days, we've been regularly chanting, reading, and discussing with one another, and it felt like a great start to this new year and something that I can carry with me forth. And lastly, I wanted to thank you, Maharaj and Guruma, for always having everyone's backs. You always take so much time to just, even if it's a word or a glance or a smile, it always just makes at least my day, and I'm sure everyone else's. You have a way of making everyone feel like they belong, and I think that's such an admirable quality. And last thing, I wanted to thank Tejas, because he's made it so fun to serve prasadam with. And he has this line that like every time he's serving pasta or something, he'll be like, I see you eyeing the pasta. And we were supposed to get shirts in his honor that says, I see you eyeing blank. So when you're standing in front of the prasadam, you can hold it and he can just say his line. But that, hopefully next year. But it was so much fun. And also just wanted to thank Sachi, because she's been so special, and honestly one of my favorite people on this yatra. And she's so thoughtful. She's always observing you. So if you are sad, she's probably noticed it. And she'll always come and tell me that, oh my gosh, I saw this person and they looked sad. Are they okay? So I just wanted to thank all of the devotees, and I'm really happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Rudra. My mum's over there. She already spoke, and so I'm sure you already heard the reason why I came on the Yatra, because she kind of told me about it and was like, it's a transformative experience. And at first, I didn't really want to go because I didn't know anyone here apart from my sister, and I thought it would be a bit worrying. But I'd first have to thank my first roommate, Krishna, for making me feel welcome in this new place. And I think one of the ways he helped me was through the very first message he sent me, where he said, "Hare Krishna, this is Krishna," and then we both laughed. Yep. And so we both laughed, and that kind of broke the tension. And from there, I gradually got to know everyone on this trip, and so I felt a lot more comfortable opening up and talking to everyone. And so I came on this trip, and I think I was in kind of a bit of a spiritual slump where I didn't really want to do rounds because they got kind of boring and it kind of felt repetitive, and I didn't really feel like any connection while I was doing the rounds. And then yesterday with Guru Maharaj's talk with us, he said something about how when someone dips into the Ganga once, it doesn't really have an effect because you're constantly committing sin. So even after you step out, you're gonna stomp on ants. Even when you breathe, you kill lots of organisms. And so unless you change your whole way of thinking and actually fully step in and do everything with your full consciousness, not just doing it superficially, then it doesn't really have an impact. So that kind of resonated with me. So from then, when I do rounds, even today when I did rounds, I instantly felt an impact where I actually connected with Krishna and didn't really think about anything else. I just focused on the rounds, and immediately these rounds were way better than most of the rounds I'd done in the past. So that was so I'm very thankful, Guru Maharaj, for your talk yesterday and for talking about really doing stuff with your full consciousness. I'd also like to thank my roommate, Rajras, for helping me out a lot. So he's very spiritually elevated, and he's kind of a role model to me, I've come to realize throughout this trip. He made me really reevaluate my life goals and how I go about things, because he's quite inspiring. He went to university at 11 years old, which is really amazing. And he also helped me feel a lot more welcome on this trip. I asked him questions, he'd respond, he'd always help me out whenever I was stuck. And one of the main things he did was giving me the speaker when we were going out day to day. And so normally when we went out, I'd kind of start thinking about other things rather than focusing on the rounds and really locking in. But as soon as I had the speaker, the noise was right next to me. It was. It was kind of hard to think about anything else when the noise is next to you. So that really helped me lock in and really focus on the words and connect with Krishna. So I'd like to thank him, and I'd also like to thank all the guys who performed the play with me, who performed the musical, especially Shrika for basically single-handedly carrying us. And also Shastra for helping me out a lot, because I wasn't really good at acting, and I could just do whatever I wanted to him, and he... Yes, I'd like to thank everyone on this trip, and I'd like to thank my mum for bringing me on this trip. It really was eye-opening. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a nice, enlivening yatra. And first of all, I would like to thank Brajras Bhavan and Abhay Charan to allow me to come over here. And Brajras also sponsored our yatra. So, yeah, one Mataji asked me, how come they let you in? They're old to be by themselves. So, thank you for that. And it's a lot of gratitude I'm taking from here, especially for Vaisheshika Prabhuji and Nirukula Mataji. They have hundreds of things to do in their life, and for Srila Prabhupada. But they're spending all of their energy and time for this youth for over a decade now. And this is really, really inspiring for us, how you are taking over Srila Prabhupada's legacy and to construct the new generation of ISKCON. And, earlier we were in anxiety, what is going to happen, but now seeing this youth under your shelter, it really gives us hope that, this will continue, what Srila Prabhupada predicted for 10,000 years. Thank you so much for that. And also I would like to thank Divyanam Prabhu and Bindarika Mataji, that how great organizer they are. Like it's out of the world organization, definitely. Like, I have taken care of youths in different retreats, like in some small scale, just for a couple of days. And I know how difficult task it is. And it is like, internationally doing it for the kids all over the world with different culture, different background, different time zone, and different taste, and bringing them all together to this place, like to India, and taking care of each and everything in detail, like it's flawless. It is like really, really amazing, and I can see that it is because of their sincerity and dedication towards Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, and that shows that how much dedicated they are in the service of their spiritual master, and that's how they're able to do it so nicely. And also Chakadola Prabhu and Pandapriya Mataji, who have flown from Punjab all the way, leaving their family behind, their parents behind, for all these days, just for all of you, to serve you. Like she said, we have just come here to serve the children. So, that is really, really inspiring, how selfless love and dedication towards spiritual master and towards the devotees. And also I liked the book distribution here, what I was missing for 1 week when I was in Delhi and Vrindavan. But here it was really, really amazing in Calcutta at the first time in the street of Srila Prabhupada's birthplace. That was really amazing. And also in, Panihati and Māyāpur here. And I got the inspiration from Pandapriya actually. She's my roommate and she is an amazing roommate. Like I took a lot of, even though she's so young, and I got a lot of inspirations from her in terms of reading. After I came to India, I was not able to finish my reading every day, but since she became my roommate, because she reads, I also get to finish my reading. So, which is really amazing. And book distribution, she is like hooked into it. She got lost 3 days in a row. And she had to come by herself all the way to Vaishnav Academy without anybody because she lost all of us. She stays behind doing book distribution. Yeah, and finally yesterday when we went to temple for book darshan during the youth session here, and we wanted her to finish all her books, no more left behind. And Mataji, myself, and Krishangi Mataji was there, and one person she got 100 rupees from one person for a small book, and then person comes back to her and gives another 500 rupees. That you can see how much dedicate, or the sincerity they see in her, and they just pour their hearts to her. I would say that she's so amazing and so silent. You can see how much recording she has been doing. With that she had shoulder pain and all that, but still no complaint. She wants to do her service, and that was my takeaway, is the service and gratitude. And from all the youths, like how much, as Radhanath Maharaj said, like you all are really fortunate souls, and it's very rare. Like this youth, this age, we didn't know anything at this age, and you all are so much attached to the holy name and to Srila Prabhupada's mission that really gives us hope and encouragement to go forward continuously. So please keep it up, such nice devotional service what you all have been doing. And again, I would like to thank all the girls to be with me, because I'm at home the only girl. So I could spend time with them nicely, and it was very nice, enlivening experience, and really not to fool around anymore. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Part, what would you like to do? How do you want to organize the next part?
How many people are left in D-10 to read Refelections? Can you raise them high so I can see?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe, yeah, go ahead.
How about we give a warning at 1 minute? And then
I think just as far as presenting the content, you don't have to thank everybody necessarily if you give the main reflections. I'm just trying to think of ways you can edit and get done on time. You can give a 1 minute warning. It hasn't seemed to, because there's a momentum and it's hard. Everyone wants to say. Anyway, we just missed enough time for one person. There's only 10 that I counted, right? That raised their hands. Is that what you counted?
I counted the organizer.
Just try to hit the main points, and if you don't thank everybody that you want to thank, then it might be okay. You can thank them individually. That could help a little bit. All right, who's next? Hare Krishna.
Hi. Haribol, Hare Krishna, everyone. So I have 3 reflections. I'll spend 40 seconds on each. So my first one was like the power of associating with devotees, because to be honest, I just wasn't feeling much motivation to be consistent with my sadhana before the yatra, but associating with so many amazing devotees gave me the inspiration, and watching them do their own sadhana and their own rounds, their own reading and their own service made me want to do that more, and so I'm going home, I'll improve on that. My second reflection was it was inspired when you showed that quote by Srila Prabhupada in the Japa circle the other day about where you compared the effects of chanting the holy name to sunshine, and how actually we all have the capacity to have the same impact. It's just sometimes when we have offenses that limits our ability to feel that, and so moving forth, I was reflecting that I would focus on like particularly chanting attentively and not criticizing any living entities to feel the full effects of my chanting. And my third realization was just how all the sacrifices that all the acharyas before us had made. I mentioned before that I really wanted to go on the yatra and see so much Srila Prabhupada's like his birthplace, as I'd read about it before, but I gained more nuance to that, especially seeing all the austerities that he made, and I was doing some reflection on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur the other day after we visited his samadhi, and how he ate from the floor with his hands behind his back, and I don't think I could do that. I think that definitely resonated with me in terms of maintaining the mood and mission of what they wanted to do. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Well done. Okay, Anshu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. For me, in this yatra, I've noticed that the mood of the devotees was very special. Especially one of the main hallmarks for me was just how especially powerful and ecstatic the kirtans were. I mean, big shout out to Shrikar for being such an amazing kirtan coordinator. Not just with the ecstasy of your kirtans, but just being extremely encouraging and inclusive towards everyone. And also the showcase that was done yesterday at the end was one of probably the best I've ever seen. I thought it was production level quality. So that was really amazing. This time for book distribution, this was the first time I've ever tried not speaking. Previously, I've definitely done the mountain pose, but then as far as just resisting the urge to, even if I understand some word that they're saying, and I found that made me definitely depend more on Mahaprabhu's mercy, because once we give them the book, then we just fully dependent on whether Mahaprabhu decides to transform their heart. And I found that to be especially helpful also, because most of the time they would try to give some indication that they don't have money, but I would just stand there and I would just and even if it would take 30 seconds, eventually they would give something. The most useful session we had in the yatra for me was the how to make a comeback lecture, and especially the part about how Maya enters the door and how it starts with pride and then laxity and justification. I found that to be especially useful to recognize, because that's exactly how my mind works. Just the feeling of pride and how it results in me thinking that I'm doing okay, I don't really need to make much of a change. Two quotes I liked very much from it was discouragement is Maya's tool, and also a quote from Bhagavatam where it said, feel regret but not depression. It was useful for me to hear that to not be depressed is a scriptural injunction. So thank you to Divyanam Prabhu, not just for organizing this, but for helping us organize our flights also. He had to rebook a flight while we were in transit, like flying already, so that was very helpful. And thank you so much to Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma for being so selfless with giving us your time. This is my last point. Towards the end of the last session yesterday, there was a mention of perhaps having other sessions, and you immediately said, yes, this is what I do, this is my life. So I thought that was very touching. Thank you. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I've been in India for like a month and a half before this yatra with like Sydney devotees. And when I was in Māyāpur the first time, I was like it was very mentally challenging for me. Like I didn't think that being in Dham would be so hard. And when we were coming to Māyāpur the second time, I was actually getting a bit nervous. I was getting a bit scared about Māyāpur, but the time that you gave me a few days ago, just those 10 minutes, and when I feel like that changed everything for me. And also you've shown me how sweet Krishna consciousness is in like the most practical way. Like I've been reading so many books, and I've been like seeing in a theoretical sense how beautiful Krishna and Radha and like how beautiful Leela is. But like when you did the kirtans and the bhajans, and then I actually like started feeling something, and I was like, this is so sweet. And like when you like throw your instrument, and like it's just amazing, like everything about you. And I also really struggle to make eye contact with you. I get really nervous looking at you. And that's all. And also Ram deserves a special shout out. He's American and he's my friend. America is America feels like a fictional place to me, and I'm sure that Australia feels that way for everyone. But Ram made America feel really like he's just like me, but he's from America, so it makes no sense. But yeah, that's about it. Hare Krishna.
This yatra was like really nice, and I really enjoyed it, and I liked how it was like GV and then Calcutta and then Mayapur. So like I'm like thankful to my parents for bringing me here, and I'm also very thankful for you and Guruma, as it's like that's what makes this yatra. And thank you very much.
Anushree.
Hare Krishna. I think my main takeaway from this year's yatra is that everything I have is because I have association with someone else. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the yatra, but I think it really strengthened over the course of the yatra. And an example of this during this yatra was that we had so many rare opportunities with like hearing lectures from Prabhupada disciples like His Holiness Irdhima Swami, Radhanath Swami, Shrutakirti Prabhu, and it was just because we were here with you, and we're on your yatra. And so I was thinking about how I would always want to be with you when I go to the Dham, because it's such a privilege, and it adds so much to the yatra to be with you. And also, the other day during lecture, you were mentioning that you can't have gratitude unless there was an intention behind the act that we're grateful for. And I think this is also one of the reasons why I enjoyed Calcutta and going to Shiva Sangam, because going to the origin places of the movement was just really special. I also wanted to appreciate two people that I felt inspired by on this yatra. One of them is Bradras Pavana. So one day at Māyāpur, I was looking at him doing the live streaming, and I felt like, oh, I want to help with that. That's so cool. And the next day he came up to me and was like, without me telling him, he was like, Anusha, you want to help video this Harinam? And I was like, this is the grace of God. But I only filmed a couple of the Harinams, and I was already so tired because it's such a tiring service. And I was thinking about how it's so time-consuming, that service, and it would be so tiring. But he patiently explained to me all the equipment, and he never lashed out. I feel like I would be very tired. And the second one is my friend Simran. And so if you've seen Simran dancing in Kirtan, you can notice that she just spins and spins and twirls and engages random girls from the neighborhood. And so she started making me dance with her a little bit, and it really inspired me because she dances so freely, and I'm usually just like a pattern kind of person. But so she was like an elder sister type figure to me this Yatra and gave me a lot of good advice. And I would like to appreciate her enthusiastic and giving nature. And I think I can speak for everyone when I say that she's been a kind friend to all on this Yatra. Thank you.
Hi.
I liked it.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So this yatra has been a challenge for me. Like when we met on Zoom for the first time, like when I met everybody, and there was a topic of, oh, we need to present something, which I never did in front of a crowd. So it was like a first time. And I was telling my group, like, I don't want to do this. And that's when Shikhar came into place and just told me that it's a kind of a service which you need to do towards Dham and towards your spiritual master as well, so that you can express what you are openly. And Vrindavan Natabara as well has been a big part of my motivation, you can say, where I was able to present myself in whatever way I am, as I never try to open up to people that easily unless somebody else tries to ice break the gap between each other. And this yatra, before coming to this yatra, I had a conversation with Gaurangadas Prabhu. I told him that I am going for a spiritual retreat. So he's like, oh, vacation. I'm like, yes. So for what? So I told him, I don't know. So that's when he mentioned to remember one thing, like Param Drishtva Nivartate. He told me to read that verse, 2.59 from Bhagavad Gita. And that's when I came in to know that when we go on yatras, when we do kirtans, when we read books and do satsangs, it's like refining process for our samskaras, just like we have water purifiers for purifying water, oils and refined oil. These things are just like for purifying our samskaras. And starting a new year with a positive spiritual start has really given me a boost to not fool around and take it seriously. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I'll skip the thank yous because I'm thankful for all of you. You all are very, very cool people, and you have tolerated me and my antics a lot. So I would just like to, the points that I really took back from like looking through my book. Wars are won in the general's tent. That was really nice. About goal setting, it was really nice. And Krishna is there to save us. Stare at him instead of staring at a screen. I like that. And then I think His Holiness Indradumna Maharaj said, how can we ask for service in the spiritual world if we have not finished our Guru's work in this world? And I think that was a very good thing from this year going in. And do the sages hear our prayers? Yes. they not only hear our prayers, they reciprocate with us as well. And one thing, Maharaj, you've been saying apart from is Krishna consciousness is so fun and easy, and I think that's also what this yatra is compared to the yatras that I've done with you before. It's just that these groups are just so much fun, and it's just so easy to just take this energy back for your whole year, you know? The bhajans that we sing and the relationships that we have, and it's just something that I just look forward to every year of compared to any yatras. So thank you so much.
Two sentences.
You got to try to beat a bye.
I just wanted to thank you, Maharaj and Mataji, for teaching all of us that these places that we are visiting, they are not just historical places. These places are the places where the acharyas, they invested a lot of emotion, feeling in those places. So when we visit these places, the bhajans that you did, it's such an absorption for all of us, and I cannot speak for everybody, but for me, my heart filled with so much of deep, immense appreciation and gratitude for all the previous acharyas, and I'm carrying those emotions back to Columbus, because I came in 2022 with my older son and Parikshit, and that time one brahmachari helped us to go around the places, so we went and just saw the places and that's it. But this time it's a totally different experience, singing those bhajans and understanding the meaning and intent behind each and every place. So I truly, truly appreciate for giving those emotions and deepest gratitude in my heart. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. One thing I just wanted to say was Māyāpur. I've been here a lot of times, and I've always been connected with Māyāpur. Just for some reason, it's always close to our hearts, and I felt no different coming this time. But it's always nice to experience. One thing I've never felt is a connection in that kind of way with Vrindavan, and I always see these guys. These boys and even you, Maharaj, going on Yatra to Vrindavan every year, and either before or after this Yatra, and it's just that sort of disconnect with me that I've experienced. But going to GEV this time, stopping there first, was not only really relaxing because we had a very tiring journey, but it was really nice to see a replica of Vrindavan available there for us to take part in and experience, because it really taught me a lot more of Vrindavan Leela and Krishna's pastimes there that I didn't either know or just I've forgotten because I wasn't able to connect with them. And I've really inquired some from when we were there with from Aditya Kendre and Shastra. So it was really just eye-opening again for me. So I just wanted to, and also to reciprocate with Ram, because he's not only a really good book distribution partner, but also a really good friend that I was able to relate and connect with more than anyone else. So, yeah.
Last opportunities?
Hare Krishna. I liked when we distributed books near the Prabhupada's birthplace. And they all took the books and gave me a lot of donation. I liked when we came on the Yatra in Māyāpur. We went Mangalarti today. It was a nice experience in the temple. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else that's been holding back and wants to just say a word? Yes, Nirkula?
Prabhu mentioned that we could write something in the forum, so that's what I'll do. But I just want to say I love spending time with all of you, seeing your talents, your abilities, and how you take care of each other, and how you open your hearts to everyone, all of your friends, making others feel comfortable. It really, I feel inspired by that, and I'm so grateful. And knowing that the future of the movement is in your hands is really comforting and is really good to know, because we're all getting older. A lot of my God siblings are passing on, but to know that you all are coming up in the ranks with such talent, such abilities, it really, don't cry. It really inspires me. And then there was one other thing. The way, for me, having you all feel more connected to Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara, when we go to Calcutta and we go to these places here in Māyāpur, really means a lot. So I'm happy that you have that experience and for sharing it. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna. So this time I wasn't feeling as inspired to say something, and the reason for that, I think it's very inspiring to hear everyone's extreme gratitude and realizations from Yatra. For me, so I feel like I've had a lot of devotee association my whole life, and especially the last few years I've been trying to bombard myself with devotee association, involve myself in just a lot of kirtan, reading, this kind of stuff as much as I can. But for some reason or the other, mostly my own fault, felt like for some amount of time leading up to Yatra, I sort of was slipping in my taste for Krishna consciousness due to some maybe just association or situations which were not conducive for me. And like I mentioned before, I felt like I was stagnating to some extent. And I think this Yatra was very, very important for me to come to, because I feel like I was able to get back the sort of like strictly, wholly positive experience in Krishna consciousness, which I feel like I haven't had in some time. I've had positive experiences all throughout in Krishna consciousness. Like I'll say every few days I've had a positive experience in Krishna consciousness, but it hasn't necessarily been a wholly like just strictly positive experience. And I finally got that after some time, and it re-inspired me, and I think I'm going to be able to go in to the next part of my life and be focused on Krishna consciousness, and I'm very grateful that I was able to get that experience. And yeah, that's sort of my mental space, and I'm really, really grateful to everyone who was able to give me that wholly positive experience in Krishna consciousness, so that that taste can come back and back to being fixed in Krishna consciousness. Thank you.
I just want to thank everyone I've met on this Yatra. It's been a really great experience. It's my second year, and experience has been nice going through all these dhams, because I've been living here, but I've been a bit busy in school, and I haven't gone through all these these holy places. But with all these holy devotees, I've gone through all these places. I've skipped my first 2 days of school just to be in this Yatra. So I really like this experience. I'll come for the next year.
Hare Krishna. I think for me, Yatra serves as a reminder of where I want to be in my life. I think overall I'm pretty satisfied with the person I am on Yatra, but at home oftentimes that doesn't tend to be the case. And seeing all the devotees here, seeing how they act, seeing how they interact with people makes me inspired to try to be more like them. So, yeah, Haribol.
Thank you, Sudhir Madhava Prabhu, for taking care of us 24 hours a day. We wouldn't be able to move around the way that we do and be able to stay on pace if you weren't there running interference for us and always making sure that we have everything we need to do whatever we do 24 hours a day. We're deeply grateful. There's lots of service, and you're qualified for it. And once you take more service for the Sankirtan movement, which is your legacy, the more you'll feel empowered. Please feel free to expand your services. You're becoming mature, thoughtful. You already have talent, and please take the baton. And that starts with getting some service that's significant that you can attend to on a regular basis to help expand the movement. And Krishna will give you more and more facility when you do that. And please take the inspirations that you have and feel free to surrender to Krishna. It's option that Krishna gives for everybody, and the more you take that option, the more you'll be happy with yourself, and the more you find that Krishna's already doing everything, and the more you give yourself in surrender, then the more facility you'll have to expand your services. We're deeply grateful to have this time, and I look forward to being of service. Nirkula and I are ready 24 hours, but not in a row, to render any service that any of you need. And we look forward to whatever opportunity Krishna gives us next to continue this yatra wherever it may be. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so I think we'll only be here for another 15 to 20 minutes, including the concluding activity, which Sachi and Vendarika is going to conduct. It's a nice activity to leave on a it's already been very sweet note, but something they're putting together, and I'll let them do. I'm just going to shout out some devotees, but you can clap for everybody at the end in the essence of time. And for the devotees who are departing at around 2:30, so we will have the lunch served in about 20. It's ready. So when we go down, I know you're all packed, so you can leave, and we'll help you transit. Vendarika has arranged prasadam for all of you, So just very quickly, want to thank devotees Chakadola Prabhu and Pandapriya Mataji. It's not going to happen. You can clap. Okay. Sudhir Madhav Prabhu, as Guru Maharaj has already mentioned, I could give a whole Bhagavatam class for that, but I'll keep it for another day.
Chakadola and Pandavapriya.
Harai Pran Prabhu for assisting myself and Vendarika for the parts of the retreat. I want to thank all the reps, Anushri, Parth, and Krishna. I want to thank the Prasadam leading team, which is Madhuri Sakhi and Tejas Prabhu. I want to thank Chaitanya and Ram for being the Sankirtan leads for us. I want to thank all the chaperons, which is Braj Bhakti Mataji, Lalita Madhavi Mataji, Ananda Mataji, Vrindavan Priya Prabhu, believe it or not, Harai Pran Prabhu and Krishna Prabhu, and Vrindarika with all the other services. She was also chaperoning. I want to thank Hinal Mataji for assisting us with the medical aid in the last few days coming to Māyāpur. I want to thank Gopal Prabhu, who supported my wife with all the beautiful pictures, receiving of all the parcels here in Māyāpur, although he's not here. And I want to thank Raj Prabhu for really helping us and preparing a lot, I think. Raj Prabhu is part of our inner yoga team now. He's working from India and we work closely, three of us along with Amanda Vikrama Prabhu. So we are a team of 4 now, including myself and my wife. So they assist us a lot in the whole retreat. And I want to thank, obviously, Vindarika Sheesh. Would you like to say something, Vindarika?
All I have to say is I'll continue to count my blessings. I don't know how I got into this, but there's so much amazing association I've been getting from the last few years, and this is something that was missing in my life, and I really deeply desired this, and somehow it's manifesting now. And yeah, I'm truly grateful to all of you. Thank you.
So just a few important points. So we want to mention that wherever we went, starting from GV to all the places we did leave with a lot of generous donation, which were contributed towards by all of you in the Yatra fee. So I just wanted to mention that. Maharaj talked about another opportunity. So if you fancy a flight to London in April, Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma are joining us for a Easter weekend 4-day retreat in UK along with Keshav Maharaj, Patri Prabhu, Kripamoya Prabhu and Gaurang Prabhu. So if you want to join the trip and come, it's a 4-day retreat during the Easter bank holiday weekend. We still have places you can see Vindarika and she'll share the details with you. We wanted to also mention that we have taxis booked for all of you starting from today and tomorrow. Please see Raj Prabhu if you need details, but he will WhatsApp you without you even... Okay, so we have taxis arranged for those devotees who are leaving for Calcutta between today and tomorrow. I don't think you need that. And then I also wanted to just humbly remind you, because this is a decision you make with your family, but one thing we try and do, and we have been successful, although it's very difficult with Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma's schedule to get, I think the dates are more or less set for the retreat, but to really narrow them down and the places. So as soon as we are able to do, I like to try and help you in trying to reach out to some of the international airlines I work with. So we will put out again an opportunity for you to grab on to a better airline, so you don't have to do a 40-hour run as some of you did. So do try and have that in your mind if you're planning to come, because we get a limited time. And now, having worked in the industry, I've learned that by second week of February, the fares start to really climb up for December. As soon as they come out, the first 2 weeks is the best time to book your flights, the first 2 weeks of February. So we will put out the details, hopefully, end of January. So then please do try and make the best of it if you can and if you are able to. And we will... Yeah, so I just wanted to mention we need few volunteers between 3 and 3:30 this afternoon to bring down this decoration so we can use them for next year. So is there anybody who would like to come up and help us after lunch? You can just give your hands. Okay, great. So yeah, if you can all please be here at 3 o'clock after lunch, just for half an hour. I think it won't take us longer than that. And I just also want to finally thank Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, because although Guru Maharaj has said earlier that yes, we had the desire to help and serve and do some kind of yatra, but if it wasn't for Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma, none of us would be here, and especially for us to have this privilege to be able to come to Dham so regularly, and we could take it for granted, but I think hearing all of your reflections, that really made us think that we are here because of all of you. So we are very, very grateful that you decide to come, and then we are able to come along with you and to be able to do some service to make this yatra as far as possible seamless. But it does comes with its own challenges. But having you all involved in the yatra and the services makes it really seamless. So both me and my wife, Sachi and Śrīdhāma, we are very grateful that we get the opportunity to be so-called organizers, but we really being directed under an amazing directors like Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma. So we are very grateful to you, Guru Maharaj, for allowing us to come. Thank you. So now if I could just ask Sachi and Vindarika, this should not take more than 10 minutes to come up. It's a very nice activity. Please take part, and then we can head down for lunch. Sachi, Vindarika, do you want to come up? Need to be quick. We are running out of time.
So basically, we're going to be passing around sheets of paper, and then it's going to have a person's name on it. So we would like you to write like one word like you like about that person, like kind, or like adjectives about, like nice adjectives about the person. And then we're gonna we'll give you a time limit, and then you have to try writing on as many papers as you can, and then we'll collect the papers in, and then we'll give them to that person, and then you can read it, and then yeah.
So thank you, Sachi. Give a hand to Sachi. So these are the qualities which will describe you. You can take them back and reflect of someone who thought of you in that way. So we are passing the papers. Are we sticking them at the back, Vindarika, or are we just writing them? Okay, okay. Your name is already written on. No. Just write the quality, one word as an adjective. Yeah, Sachi, do we have pens and pencils? Have we passed on? So you just write a word and pass the paper along quickly. Okay, we're going to be on a timer of 9 minutes, and it starts now. One word, one adjective. Yeah, about the devotee. From your side, and you'll pass it on to the next person. Sachi has one. She's giving them out. What? Yeah, don't pass it to the person whose name is on the paper. Yeah. Pen. Okay, we have 7 minutes to go. 7 minutes. Seven minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes.
Shasha pass. Shasha.
minutes, everyone.
Okay, 2 more minutes, dear devotees, 2 more minutes. Haribol, can you help me line up the gifts? Okay, last 1 minute left. Huh? Guru Maharaj ka, Guru Maharaj ka. Dear, सबके लिए निकलना है साधन के लिए. Okay, 30 seconds. It's coming, Guru Maharaj. It's just coming. Okay, last 10 seconds. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone, please bring the papers and please put them on this table, and then you can find your own paper and take it back, and you can develop a sense of gratitude for the qualities and also start to reflect on them and how we can imbibe them and increase them. You can put it on the floor, it's easier to find, otherwise it will be on the floor. Remove this. Balram, you can help put them. Okay, just give in your paper, we'll put them on the floor. If everybody could go back for the last. If you can hear me, raise your hand. If you can hear me, say shh. Okay, quietly hand in your paper. And we have Guru Maharaj and Guru Ma right there at the exit before you go for prasadam. They have many gifts for you. So one of the gifts is the Shloka book, which Guru Maharaj promised everyone. And we have it available. And Guru Maharaj will give it to you as you leave. The book you have and the gift you have is one per family. So if you are sibling, you can use one book. They're all same, Guru. They're all same. Yeah, they're all same. No, this is separate and this is a separate gift.
Oh.
These are the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu with the picture.
Okay, so they get these.
They get both, yeah, per family, yeah. Okay, please come over and collect your gifts. And Shrikar Prabhu, for the last time, can we have a kirtan when devotees are collecting the gifts for 5 minutes? Just for 5 minutes. Yeah. They have to fly. Prabhu, prasadam is ready. So you have time. Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. But your children can collect. Krishna, what I'm saying is Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur Haribol, 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 Gaura Haribol. Yatra ki jai.